Hello, good morning, good morning. There's a buy I'm looking for here by 51.90. However, I don't trust this freaking hourly open. It just opened, no bottom wick. It's shot up 50 pips. By entries, will be around 60 pips. And then I would need it to push another, 20 pips. Ooh, don't know what to do over here. Don't know what to do. This 5 minute here has extended quite a bit with no bottom wick. I think the pain of that becoming a losing trade will hurt more than the pain of missing a winning trade. So I'm not going to take it. I'm going to at least wait for the next 5 minute candle to open. See, we had like some kind of a SMA over here. So, candle also couldn't create that bottom wick. We had some sort of like some SMA rejection over there. Don't get trapped here, too volatile. Yeah, all morning gold's been volatile, but now getting the London Open, we should see it clear out a bit more with the London Open over there. That's the thing. That's the thing, right? I just don't like the way we've progressed here. Oof. But it could still play out. That's the thing, because like since the hourly open, this is an 87 pip 5 minute candle. Is very much possible, but yeah, it's been a little volatile. Markets have been a little bit volatile. I could also see it here with some of my results coming in towards the end of February. Like I'm starting to get into a little bit more choppiness right over here, a little bit more choppy waters. So yeah, I think it's quite always going to be in line with the market. When the market's easy to trade, I'm going to get a lot more W's like this. But right now, we definitely are coming to a phase of a little choppiness, with Trump speaking, with the Iran thing setting up still. The daily time frame is still trying to figure it out, still wanting to go to the upside on the daily time frame. But the market, in essence, is kind of like, still getting its legs. Yeah, we're still getting our footing over here. If you look at the daily, technically, gold spot is still bullish. So yeah, I mean, these results, just expect them to look exactly like the market. Most of the time, you will see it. You will see it. When markets are choppy, you're going to come to the spreadsheet. Most likely, results are going to be choppy as well. If markets are easy and moving smoothly, you're going to see more W's. So let's just get through this right now. It's towards the end of the month over here. It's still setting up, Also, we got the monthly candle close to consider. Alright, so, cool. Nice little pullback over here. Would be good to see if it can even come and create the bottom wick for the hourly there before we start getting the breaks. I've been looking for a gold break since... I've been wanting to get a gold break to the upside now. Important thing is always to never let the market affect you psychology. So easy to tilt. So easy to tilt. A lot of us, we're just ruining it because of tilting. That is where you go wrong. Don't tilt. Just be patient. If it's choppy and you're getting like so, okay, so get this right. So if the market is choppy, generally speaking, like during the times that you're trading like this, and maybe you're not getting the result that you want, just take a step back and realize that you're doing the best that you can inside such environment like this. It's not the time to be trying to fight the market, correct? All right, so we just got a candlestick here close on the 5 minute. Still didn't create a bottom wick. Still no hourly bottom wick over there, but I think if we start re-breaking, we could just continue to push upwards. All right, let me just remove this analysis, see if we're looking at the right thing. It seems to be the case. Boom, boom, da-da-da. Little fake out right over here. Little possible inverted head and shoulders. That has now come back down. We got clean range. We got clean range. Yeah, we got a bit of clean range about that 5-minute zone. Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Looks good. So that will be a trade I'll be happy to take. So, you know, like that's the whole idea here. Like you're going to take a trade that you're going to be happy to take a loss on. Remember, with trading, you're not thinking about wins. You're thinking about losses. You're always looking to mitigate your downside. And actually, it's through even focusing on losing that you actually become a good winner. I think Bruce Lee said something about that as well. Learn the art of losing.
You are not ready.
I know.
Like everyone else, you want to learn the way to win, but never to accept the way to lose. To accept defeat, to learn to die is to be liberated from it. So when tomorrow comes, you must free your ambitious mind and learn the art of dying.
Yes, sir. Little morning gems. Some morning gems from Bruce Lee. All right, let's see if we can get the break. Now I'm just waiting for a break over here. You think you could come on the break of this high, or could maybe set up something a little bit sooner? See, what would have been your entry, Vic? I didn't take because I was not 100% sure. I missed have fake out on Nas. All right, we're going to look at that in a bit. Let's just see. Any one of these candles here can start popping up. I think it should be a good structure. We also got the London Open, so that should actually bring in some volume. To learn to die is to be liberated from it. Like everybody else, you just want to learn the way to win. I don't know if I should take, like, probably going to be a smaller one right over here. If price comes down, boom, 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 and then breaks back above, that could be interesting. This could be interesting right over here. I think what I would want to see is for a candlestick to first close bullish, then see if we could get like a slightly earlier entry. Don't know how it's about to play out right now. Or this should be sufficient enough actually. Could be sufficient. Let's see. Boom, starting to come up. About like 30 seconds for the candlestick there to close. I think I'll wait for the 1 minute here to close first. Hope it doesn't break before closing. Or like 8 seconds. All right, let me see if it breaks. Yeah, if it breaks, I'm gonna get stuck in. If it goes and breaks that high. Your channel is underrated AF. Yeah, fortunately, we can only rely on the gods of YouTube algorithm. The YouTube algorithm decides everything. If the YouTube algorithm wanted, this channel could be as big as ICT by the end of the day. Trust me, I've had videos hit like I've had reels hit like 30 million views. I've seen the power of the YouTube algorithm. All right, I'm waiting for a break over here. The only person who knows how to play that algorithm is Mr. Beast. They keep changing it. They changed it again this year. It's kind of hard to keep track of it. All right, can we get a break? Break. Almost breaking. 16 seconds. Damn, what kind of pullback is that? Gonna wait for another break here. Rebreak of those highs. All right, so I got stuck in. Come on, Goldie, where's the volume? No volume. The 5-minute is weakening quite a lot. We got that 5-minute. We're stuck in between SMAs. We got, I think, an 8 SMA underneath the 5. And a 50 SMA that we just tapped into that caused that rejection on the 5-minute. All right. So, yeah, that stopped me out. Damn. See how this 5 minutes acting, because we just got the 5-minute there close. I wonder if it was just one of those before candlestick opens pullbacks. Let's see. Yeah, that was still valid to take though. 100%. We got that 5. The thing is, it was stuck in between this 50 SMA and that 8 SMA right over here. We're still in this overall kind of like choppy condition, waiting for the volume to come in. So this would have been the first point of where volume would come in, and the second point should be above a 50, what is that, like 51.90. What is this? 313. Yeah, we just need some clean volume. We need clean volume. That's it. That is it. Just be cautious here, I suppose. I don't know. It's monthly candle closure. It's the news and all these things creating a little bit of intraday volatility. But it's all right. You know, we work our way through it anyway. I still trade these market environments. I just let the probabilities take care of themselves over time. It's a push, man. This thing wants to push to this zone right over here. I don't know why it's acting so swingy. Had that happen a few times this week. Really good trade setups that was supposed to fill ranges, but it was kind of swinging a lot before the ranges were getting filled. Happened yesterday as well. And it's still happening. Like, chat, it's crazy. It's still happening because it's swinging a lot after that entry and then moving. So a lot of the pre-London, I've noticed that more like through pre-London and pre-NY. As far as the London session goes, it's been relatively, more chilled. This is the first time this week in London session that it's done the swing thing. Or rather, it hasn't yet done it, but yeah, we are quite volatile here for Wednesday, for London session, in terms of just wick build-up. But you see, it's trying to push. It's trying to push. It's lacking volume. But it's trying to get... That's usually what happens like in situations where it's like low volume. But it's trying to push. That's why I'm trying to watch and see what's going to happen here. How it's going to break. It's tapping that 5-minute SMA again. You see, having a little challenge here with that 50 SMA, acting as a form of psychological resistance. Should be able to get through it after a few tries. What's more interesting will be also what happens now when it breaks above just above 51.90 level over there. Oh, wow. The 51.90 clean mopped up nicely. Right over there, that break confirmation. Sheesh. And why didn't this one play out though? This one was also clean right here. That was also clean. See what happened again. Boom. It's like a small little shotgun confirmation. See the Discord. Anybody see anything? That was what I was thinking. The smaller one. That it for me. See, also got that little small tiny shotgun confluence there too. I think what it was, I think the variable for this might have been the SMA. That might have been the only other thing that kind of like made it come down a little bit. All I can think about is that 50 SMA. Usually those can be quite pesky. See, after I did that, did it retest the SL zone? Trying to think whether because you know sometimes what the issue is, like if this breaks right over here and comes up here, you can already miss out on the 20 pips. The 20 pips whilst it's triggering this next entry above 51.90. Anyway, been a pretty good month, so can't really complain. I'm up more than I usually am anyway. See what we got to RBA government bollocks speaks. Government bollocks. We got government bollocks speaking here today at 3:40 a.m. All right, what are we doing, Goldie? So we got resistance now by that's 51.94. So like candlestick breaks above resistance, we should be heading up over here. This is gonna be the next range. It's gonna be like 138 pips. Still gonna try again later, no worries. I just need to make back. Let's see how much percent that is. 841. 1.68. So just need 2% move at least. And we're gonna see. I'm gonna see how that goes. But right now, price is heading towards resistance over here by 51.94. It's gonna try and attempt to break and move up. We are currently bullish on the daily. We're currently up like 1% right now on the daily. That is why I'm kind of like was really looking forward to these buys today, but looks like I just have to try again later. But we should be moving up anyway. On the daily time frame, we have resistance right over here, and we're still on the way up towards like 5400, and then all-time highs. That's gonna be our target. ATH baby. At least the tariff talks are done now, and we only have to look forward to the escalations between the US and Iran. So that's going to be pretty straightforward in terms of the direction of price on gold spot, which should be more bullish into next week as well. I was waiting for that juicy range at the top of this madness. It's such a juicy range up here. And you know, I've been waiting for that range as well since the London session, like since right here. But it didn't break. It didn't break the high. It came up like this and then it started falling off. So I was like, okay, you know, most likely gonna start breaking it during the London. I've been trying to catch that break since pre-London, right over here. But even the shotgun confirmation above was not valid because of there was no top wick on that candlestick here to break. so that this next candle can keep moving up bullish. So now we're just chilling. Oh, we also had like an inverted head and shoulders there. That would have been it due to right here. Inverted head and shoulders to push up. So definitely two entry confirmations. One up here, one down here. Oh, my broker did not hit the SL on this trade. Oh, nice. Yeah, close because it kind of went through it quick, so I thought it was just gonna keep dumping as well. Because it shouldn't have pulled down. Like it shouldn't even have pulled down like that in the first place. We had quite nice confluences. We had that. At least we got the 1 minute SMAs in there as well. Holding it up. Yeah, it is what it is. It's just a variable. Can't really think too much about it, you know. At the end of the day, it's like, did you follow your rules or not? That's pretty much it. Then you just got to do it again, and just try and be as careful as possible with your entries, like making sure they are part of the system, so you're collecting like the right data for them. Because it's easy to want to take a trade, because in the moment you kind of like want to take a trade, right? But like afterwards, you have to reflect on it and see if it's like coming from a point of wanting to take a trade or taking a trade based off like what you were meant to do. So I'm just confirming. Yeah, that would have played out. If that played out, then that would have been the move. Then that would have been the move right there. Well, it still played out, but it just had a bit of volatility. In this scenario, a 25 pip stop loss would have helped. But that's all just in hindsight, you know. Most of the time, like 20 pip, 16 pip should be enough. German 40 is looking amazing not to trade. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, German 40 also looking a bit whiplashy. Let me see. What's this entry? Entry 1, entry 2. What would be your entry? Was because the way it came up, I didn't want to take the first entry. Oh yeah, that's an interesting one. The daily bias was bullish. I mean, looks like the daily bias was what, still bearish? What would be my entry? Boom. Boom. I think like entry 1. Entry 1. That entry 2 over there looks like structure from a bit older. It looks like old structure. It doesn't look like part of where entry 1 is. That general region. So yeah, they would say like entry 1. But not much direction here as well. Looks like it didn't follow through. It just accumulated. Probably like broke after this, right? Looks like something was cooking up over there. That was yesterday. But yeah, for sure entry 1 on that. Now gold is just coming down to retest the range again. It just went down to collect some more orders down over there. Look at silver. It looks like a solid buy above 92. Silver's at I think silver's at ATH, right? No, not yet. Oh, silver's breaking out. Yeah, that's true. Silver was stuck in this accumulation as well. Right over here. So it's starting to break out of it. Silver looks like well, Thursday, Friday has some room here for silver to correct that move. Same as on gold on the daily. Now Goldie's flirting with our resistance where we're going to have clean traffic too to continue to move up bullish. But silver looks like it's trying to get ready to come up here. Yeah, 4 hours looking good. Clean range on the 4 hour, little accumulation, little liquidity grab below the lows. Beautiful range that was filled up here in between as well, from here to here. On silver, beautiful correction, looks nice. Yeah, it looks like good PA. Just waiting for Goldie to open up again. It's been a bit inconsiderate. See this even yesterday? Yesterday's buy, same thing. Same thing that I got in pre-New York buy. Pre-New York buy freaking stopped me out, then went in my direction and filled up the range. And then before that was another freaking pull down, chopped me out, and then continued to go back towards the upside. So now we just, you know, just kind of waiting. We're kind of waiting for it to break out of this this time over here. Because if, you know, like something about when you stick to a time and you're always trading the same time every day, you start to realize there's times in the market where it will be consolidating specifically at that time. It will be chopping specifically at that time. It's happened to me before. I can't remember when, but it happens from time to time as well. Where it's like that specific time that you're trading, there's going to be a little bit more choppiness than usual and like consistently as well. Something you can look out for in your data if you got like you got a spreadsheet here and you're journaling the times that you're trading. It's just something you can like look out for as well. It happens every now and then. It doesn't happen too often, but I feel like that's been happening to me of late. Like for pre-London and pre-NY. Like it's specifically that hourly candle that does a few Judas swings before playing out. But it should be clearing up now. Usually it happens like for maybe like maximum of 3 sessions. And then it clears up, at least from previous data. It happened maybe for like 3 days. And then that will also start to move. So it'll move like towards a different time. It's kind of like hard to explain, but like throughout the whole day, definitely like all sessions, they don't remain the same always. Like Asia, London, New York. There could be something here that's creating Asia to win. And then there could be a rollover of that to the London session. Then maybe Asia consolidates. London wins a lot. And then it could be a rollover to New York where maybe New York session loses a lot. And that keeps rotating. But that will be based off of like your connection to your data and how consistent you are. And once you start being consistent with your trading times, you will start to realize that as well. And that's also the same thing, not only for losing, but also for winning in terms of expecting like much easier wins or just expecting good entry confirmations as well. That is also true for that as well. So if you notice like specific time, price has been moving, of course you're going to take advantage. That's what people have been doing for the Asia session. Whenever Goldie is moving quite nicely, most people are looking to get stuck in during the Asia because Asia will start pushing up a lot with the macro fundamentals. It's also what we talked about in the simulation this weekend. And then gold on the daily, open no bottom wick, skyrocketed upwards. But I think like since the beginning of the week, although the daily candlesticks look good, the intraday timeframes has still been choppy because even if we had that Asia push on Monday, right over here, it still went into some kind of a barcoding, some kind of a sideways movement over here. So it wasn't as clean as those other times when the Asia just rallies bullish. It also like came down, kind of retraced, and then the volume started kicking back in during the New York session. I think that's NYSE open over here, and then I just followed through for the daily close. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting for Goldie to like clear up a bit. Usually what gives it away is just the wicks, right? So that's why candle autonomy is like really important, because you're always gonna get like bodies and wicks, and you have to get really good at reading those two things, right? So if you start to notice like a bunch of wicks like this, that's signaling, you know, some kind of maybe some unhealthy type of an environment, like also right over here as well. So it's clearing up, chat. It's just like, it's just, you know, with Trump and everything's going on, it's just, we just need to get through over that, and then it's going to follow through quite nice with what's happening in Iran. Trust me. That is what gold does before it starts to have really big pushes again. And it's also towards the end of the month, so those are also factors, because you got to look at the monthly candle. Monthly candle, as it's about to close, the buyers and sellers are trying to hold certain levels. So that in confluence with you know, we had the State of Union yesterday and everything, that in confluence with that stuff is also creating like a lot of more fluctuation on that monthly candle like this. That's affecting the LTF, but overall it's still pushing up. Overall we can still see more bullish momentum. It's just like this candle here is going to close, and then when it closes, you're going to get the fresh volume in. So it's the same thing that just happened with this trade as well. Now you see how the 5 minute here closed. So just about like when it was trying to close, like fluctuates a little uncertainty. It closed, and then next candlestick opened up and then shot up bullish. So it's going to be a similar thing like that for next month. Let's see, we got some fundamentals in. Gold reclaims 5,200 on US trade uncertainty. Middle East risks. Nice. It's starting to break above resistance. See, spreads are increasing slightly, but they're back to normal now. We got a shotgun play. Oh, nice. There was a shotgun play there. Damn. So that was only what? Manipulation that happened right here? Are you kidding me? That was the last time that we had volatility? Are you serious right now? That was the last time we had volatility. Now it's like opening up a bit more. Even the shotgun play is playing out. Damn, Daniel. Bro, I'm a video editor with experience in more than 2 years, and I can enhance your videos to the next level. Oh. Nice. You can enhance my videos. Are you gonna use GPTs? Are you gonna use AI? No? Wrong answer. Not doing too well on the job interview, my friend. You should be using AI. Why have you not yet started incorporating AI into your work? AI can save you a lot more time. And save me time. And in most cases, can make it look even better. I mean, not fully AI. Ah, I see. Should have said that in the first place. Now I don't trust you. Nah, it's like, I don't like have videos, man. I don't have videos that you're gonna edit like that. My videos are gonna be very, very simple and informational. Not, hey guys, and then you're gonna have neon lights and arrows and all of those things. Man, maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. But right now, it's like, you know, we kind of just want to provide a simple value, you know? Just a simple value over here. You could edit my video like this. Where is that guy's channel again? This is how that you gotta look for people like this. People like this. Where we can start. We can start the video like this.
chart and thought, why does this make sense to everyone else but not me? This is the price action trading strategy that finally made it click and turn my trading profitable. No indicators, no video, you'll never look at charts the same way again. So smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, watch the disclaimer now, and let's dive in.
Let's dive in, chat. Let's get it. Nah, no time for that, my friend. Anyway, look at this. We have price liquidity grabbing above the highs now, but it already pushed up a, how much was that? Like 17 pips. Not bad, but that's where it should actually respect. We should respect 51.95 over here for price to keep moving up bullish. That's gonna be up, like, you know, still got about 115 pip range above that area. Here's silver is starting to break above, like that's a 4-hour distribution play away from this zone. It's not the cleanest breakout, but it's trying to get through that level. All right, now silver should be on its way up. It's looking good for commodities though, I gotta say, like that the ranges that we have towards the upsides, they're looking really nice. It's just a matter of being consistent and just try not to tilt, you know, like just try not to tilt. Just whenever you're gonna have like some certain results, just look at it for what the market environment is. If the market environment is easy to trade, I mean, then you have to seriously review your trade setups. Like you have to review maybe your stop losses or refine your entries a bit more, but also realize that it's not always you who's the problem. You have to look and see in the context of the markets. That's why it's super important to be able to develop an objective eye. So an objective eye will show you not what you want to see, but what is currently present in the market. That's why, you know, even John said market was here volatile, because he can see it. It's an objective reality that we can all see. So you also got to take that into account in your data. Easy, bro. Are you on WP? Oh, what's WP? Man, AI is so cool when it comes to making videos. The only thing is it can be quite expensive, right? It can be like really expensive if you keep trying and trying and trying. Oh, what's up? Yeah, man, what's up? But we got a Telegram over here. We just got a Telegram for the community and Discord, private. Public and private Discord channels. But no, we don't have WhatsApp. Got in my entry here when it came back down. Secured 30 pips with the bullish momentum. Previous trade exited a BE. A little liquidity grab, bullish extension. Looks like the trend was moving up. This was today on the 1 minute. You must have been trading that Asia time. Let's see, this is from London. Yeah, it must have been coming in through that Asia. Asia was having nice pushes. Then we retraced. Then like after the retrace, I kind of like also had a feeling this morning was just gonna range for a bit. Like, so that's how I can think I can best explain to you during the times that you trade, right? So after that retrace, I was like, okay, it feels like we might actually have a range during this time, because it's like the same things that been happening. Like for example, also the previous day, you see here we had a push, we had a push down, and then it just kind of like ranged for a bit. It kind of like chopped up for a bit, and then also for the pre-NY, come down like this. Then it's the time that I'm trading. It was the time I was trading right here, and then got caught in that same range like that. That's how it feels like here, and then here. So we're waiting for that to clear up. That's like you know, when you got like a muscle cramp and you gotta kind of massage the cramp out of you. That's kind of like what the market does, you know. It's gonna massage this cramp out of this area, and that's gonna start to clear out a bit more consistently as well. The important thing is just sticking with it. But let's see. Right now we spiked above here, because you see, if you start to jump from here to here, because this might be something someone might actually be struggling with. If you jump from here to here, you can't escape it, because when this get massaged out, it's gonna move over here to where you thought you could escape it, right? And then you'll always be playing this game with like cat and mouse with the market, thinking that the problem is that the time that you're trading is not a good time. So you might enjoy the time for a bit before it moves over here. That choppiness moves over there. And that happens like, and I think some sessions are more prone to it. That's also like throughout the day. I think like some sessions may be a little bit more prone to it. So you want to be more in those high volume times to avoid that in general over a longer duration of time. Right? So high volume areas are going to be like pre-London, London Open, pre-NY, NY Open to NYSE. If you're trading beyond that point, like you're going to be more prone to that. Because now that's also towards the tail end of the day, heading towards London close. Or even like sneaky times like 5 a.m. Eastern. Also, because that's 1 hour before the pre-NY. So there's like a small gap in between there, 5 to 6 a.m. Eastern. So it could be more prone to that as well. Maybe waiting for a session, maybe waiting for US session to break out. Yeah, it's a pretty big range. You could be waiting for New York session, possibly over here. It's 130 pips. 100, how many pips? 100, 115. Roughly. 115, yeah. It could be waiting for the US. But you see, it's already attempting it here. It would have been nice to see the follow through in London. I was thinking that pre-London breakout so long it will never break out. I know, man. Like, I wish it broke up during pre-NY, pre-London though. I was really waiting for it. I wanted to catch it like right there. Because that structure got shifted, you know, like when it started breaking below, it got shifted to down over here. Which I guess is not bad, considering it came down for a pop back above. I think it should have just held that little extra drawdown there. But it was about, how many pips is that? Like 3.5. You just spike through it. Boom. Just keep holding. Spike, spike. See if it could survive it if it broke on this candle. No. Wasn't enough pips. See, German 40 is looking. Oh, this was yesterday. Yeah, it's still doing a little sharky behavior here. A little bit of a whip above this area. Just took out. Well, it's taking out like the people gonna like have bigger stop losses. Sometimes people gonna have bigger stop losses, whatever reasons. Maybe even have stops below the candle like this, and not get the full extension that they're looking for. So it's kind of like stopping those people out, and then other people as well. So it's much easier in the market to make like money from shorter durations, correct? Like that was a nice little 16 pip move right there. So I would say like 16, around 16, 20 pips, 20 pip and 30 pip. You can expect some kind of pullback. Correct? So this version of it was like about 16 pips. So it actually did pay out the traders here. I think first it like mopped up the early comers for the London Open. Well, at least a little bit more because we got a deeper retracement than we expected. And then it paid out here. Probably still paid out here as well. People still got bigger stops, maybe below the structural point right over there. That's what actually typically our stop losses usually were, like somewhere below structure like this, But because of the volume that we've been seeing on gold, like we don't use that anymore. It just feels like it's kind of like a wastage of pips. But throughout 2020, before 2025 or beginning of 2025, like that would be ideally, even the years before 2025, like that would be ideally how it always played, like put in below the structural point. And yeah, we got like tons of volume right now. You don't have to be like extra cautious, extra safe. Because when you get triggered and it's an entry, then it should just go through it, like just like it did right here as well. Just went through it, boom. Because you got to think like, it's like if you go shopping, grocery store or whatever it is that and everybody wants to buy the same thing as you, like that will quickly, like it will just keep, in essence, like it shouldn't go down because so many people are buying it that it only makes it harder for you to get the price that you want. So have you ever like had a situation before where you saw your setup, you hesitated to get in, and then you started saying to yourself like, okay, if it comes down, I'm going to get it, but it never came down to where you initially wanted to get it, but it just kept going? So that would be like the same thing. The market's not always out to get you. It's not looking to trigger you in and always like fake you out. Like if it's going to be a good entry, it's going to be a good entry. It should just push through it. So this is like, this is maybe still like something that was more like an impulsive because it came in a bit sooner. But something like that one above there could also be seen by a little bit more people too. So if you remove the analysis, you can see like from here to here. It's a little bit more obvious. And especially after this pullback over here, also this became a bit more obvious. Because now when it started to re-break like this, you can see also that followed through quite nicely. But we're looking to get in like a bit sooner, expecting that the stock on the shelves are going to get taken up. It looks like people are a bit more patient. But it's the case, and it's a good thing to do because you'll see when price starts to trend up next week as we head into potential war with Iran, like a lot of the stock is going to be getting taken off the shelves like quite quickly. So it wouldn't be the time for any kind of like a hesitation. Gonna miss a lot of moves. Let's see, price is coming down right now. We're heading down towards this support, 51.86. You got some nice clean range below that too. We got about like 34 pips below that area. It's gonna be coming down here, but overall it's stuck within a sideways motion. The only thing I can chalk this up to is just a monthly closure in about 2 days. It's just getting ready to get a break into a new candlestick because otherwise we should actually be technically moving up. And I think Trump made the tariffs at 10%, right? If I recall watching that thing correctly, he's doing 10%, but he's keeping the deals. Some of the deals that he made with other countries still in place. I need to read up on it, but that's kind of what I understood from the way he said things. He's gonna do 10% tariff, but he's going to keep some of the existing deals in place. It's quite unfortunate, as he says, very unfortunate the Supreme Court ruled against him. Very unfortunate. They were bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars, but the Supreme Court had to go and ruin it all. He knows how to get people on his side. Now people are going to be like, man, really? Our country was bringing in hundreds of billions of dollars and they ruined it? How many more days is it until they come up with a deal with Iran? How many more days do we got? Should be after next week, right? Should be after next week. 7, 8, 9, 10, or towards the tail end of next week. Yeah, it should be towards the tail end of next week. Oh, that means next weekend we're probably gonna have some tensions on the weekend. That means for the second week of March, we should be seeing some bullish momentum kick in, some exuberance on that weekly candlestick. Because I doubt, like, if they're gonna do anything, I doubt they're gonna do it on the trading days. So time's gonna be up by next weekend, by the tail end of next week. So most likely we're gonna see that hit happen on over the weekend. All right, so let's see. We're gonna see now. We're gonna see. That's my prediction. The first strike is gonna be happening next weekend. Yeah, next weekend. Either like Saturday, Sunday. But when market's already closed, then market open, we should be seeing more bullish momentum to the upside. When will the US strike Iran? After or before the 10 to 15 days are up? Let's get our fortune here told. Getting the deck cleansed. Little shuffle. Mediating. Alright, trading view. Let's see what we got over here. We got the king of crypto. After Zoldy sees 10 of stonks and the king of stonks favoring calculated hedged move rather than a rash strike. The exit foretells closure and relief once the 10 to 15 day window has passed. So favoring a calculated hedged move rather than a rash strike. Imagine if you're gonna capture, if it's just gonna capture the Iran president, like did the Venezuelan president. So far, he's captured Venezuelan president. He's captured the cartel leader. They're one of the cartel leaders, and next is Iran. Next is the president of Iran, and that's going to just be. When did he capture Venezuela? In January. I can't remember. But the next guy for March, it's gonna be the Iranian president. He's gonna put them on his shelf in the Oval Office, like trophies. But that's what's gonna be happening over here. That's the next thing. And then for June, the next guy is gonna put on his shelf is gonna be Powell, a figurine of Powell. Is also going to be put on the shelf over there because now he's going to be replaced too. So you can see the plays. You can see the plays that we have in store for the year up ahead. Those are the key things that's currently on the table. So now since we're getting over tariffs are going to be something that's going to be like a base note. It's going to be a base note. And because, after 150 days, he still has to go to Congress and still keep pushing this, right? That's going to be a perfect base note to keep volume throughout the year. But we're going to have more of the higher notes, be that Iran and the rates, the interest rates. Those are the key ones which should be bringing in like the most volume into the market. Trump catch 'em all? Yes, sir. He's going to catch 'em all. Alright, break below support. It's just mopping up this small little range over here. It's around 35 pips. It's creating a good opportunity though to move back up. Got resistance right over here. He's gonna have like different cologne scents for the leaders he captured. Today I want to smell like the day I captured the Venezuelan president. Want to smell. And Trump is just insane though. Like that's what you get when you have a entrepreneur or a businessman as president. Very cutthroat fellow, very smart. Like always making these plays, right? You think that because the Supreme Court said he couldn't do higher tariffs, that he didn't have anything up his sleeves. I believe he said he was gonna keep most of the deals on the table that they already previously agreed on. And he's gonna accept the fact of 10%, but he's just gonna keep the deals in a in a different kind of way. He's like kind of like slithering because he can strong arm people. It's just because the government says that he can't do anything. The U.S. is still able to strong arm countries in other ways. There's a lot of things that happen behind the curtains as well. That's not being discussed in mainstream politics. Just the same way as the US was allowing a lot of like the opioids coming in from... There's this like specific thing that they use to make this kind of crack. Because like in the States they had like a crack pandemic. And majority of that was coming in from China. So there are certain things, that they're going to have like these secret agreements with. And they can gonna strong arm countries on. So when Trump came in, he stopped importation of, I think, medicine from China. Like... especially those ones that could create that substance that a lot of Americans are addicted to. But that's all it's all planned with the US government as well. It's not like they're fighting a war on drugs, but they're actually facilitating it as well and getting paid for it too. So there are always like some small things that are happening behind the curtain. That's why I think Trump can strong arm certain countries as well, just based off those deals. So yeah, it's quite the guy. Anyway, we have a price coming down. We got like some kind of a support area over here. And we have a range of, let's see, this is going to be like 50 pips, close to 50 pips. It keeps breaking below that support. But I think the best play on gold actually would be to set up something down here. Boom, boom, boom. And then move up to correct this range towards that resistance by 51.95. That would be the best play, At least it's opening up. It's breaking away from this area here. So again, as always, you can just like ignore this for now because we've actually broken away from this. And it's starting to open up a lot nicer over here. So hopefully it sets up and then plays out beautifully. I'm gonna try another trade today later on and see if I can make like 2%. Hopefully we don't come into a time where it's again gonna be this and then this. Right? So we'll see. We shall see. Which level is best to spot to buy? Oh, now it just broke below the support level there. Holy. Man, look at these breakouts. This just did like a quick 30 pips once it broke that wick. It's already filled up the range. Sheesh, right to 65% of the range there, right to the T. Holy. Yeah, I like kind of like corrected this move. But this is what we want to see anyway, We'd rather see this than this. Because at least when this happens, you get triggered, your entry confirmation, and then you get pretty good trades. You get, actually, that's what I'm hoping for, is I'm looking for 2%, but I'm actually hoping to get a spike. Maybe get a spike a bit more than that. You see like how this over here spiked? You could be looking for like 2% and end up closing like 8%. Quick little spike like that. And so usually towards your direction too. Remember, like most of the time you get those spikes, if you trade with the market, it's going to be towards your direction. So you wouldn't worry about that happening in the opposite direction. Most of the time, it rarely ever does. As long as you're trading in line with where the market is heading towards. Or the candles are heading towards, rather. So let's see. Maybe I can catch a bumper clot. Maybe not. Either way, it's just about maintenance. We just got to maintain. So far this week, I think in London, we took 1 loss, 1 win, 1 loss. But that first loss was such garbage because of the glitch. We had like that stupid glitch that happened with the wick that disappeared and then invalidated the entry. And then the next move that came was actually pretty much a W because it stopped right at that 20 pip mark. Most likely would have closed it. And then small dubs here and then loss here. So the real turmoil is coming throughout my other sessions. I don't really have much struggle with London, but like the other sessions, what's really grinding my gears. Because they're the ones which are actually the best sessions for me. So I want to see them play out. If those sessions don't play out, then I don't know. Gonna have to put more risk on London. But right now, we shall wait and see if this range here can get mopped up, because that's created a really good area for us to even get up to there, like pre-New York. All the way up here. But just see how nicely that mopped up this area. Boom, 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 boom. Down towards support, and then cleaned up that next zone down towards that next support. And it's still trying to mop out this next clean traffic here as well. As far as entries go for how you could have caught the sells, let's investigate. Is there anything on the 1 minute? No. Yeah, so this was more like a V shape. This is a V shape reversal. So there was no structure that you could have got a trade based off of. Not even a support or anything. It just kind of V shape reversal. If 80 doesn't hold here, uptrend is off. 80? Oh yeah, 50, 51, 80. 51.80. No, I think 51.80 is too soon for uptrend to be off. We have to be breaking below this support by 51.74 area here, because even that daily still bullish though. Like it's up 1.76%. You know, so even if it even comes down to 51.74, the daily will still be up 0.60%. But I think if we break below that level, we have a lot more clean range here that you see it can completely mop up and lose a lot of gains within that area. So just look at that kind of weakness in terms of percentage gains, like from here, from breaking 170, because structurally speaking, there's like clean range. It will still be bullish, but definitely a lot more opportunity for it to like completely tumble, because that whole section here would be clean traffic. The price can go, but above it is still kind of strong. You know, it's still above like 60, you know, still holding 60, 70. That would be from the Asia. I think that was a market open push. That was the first push of the day as well, since that Asia. But it's got a lot of heavy pushing to do to get through that structure. Right here. It's still going to be a lot of like speed bumps. I think what it's doing is like probably just trying to shake. Probably like trying to shake people out. But it's also due to, you know, the thing about the way price is moving, if you read the fundamentals, right? These are also technical pullbacks that we're seeing. Let me see if I can get a headline. Yeah, like for the most part, we've been reading a lot of headlines about profit taking, technical pullbacks. It's more technical as well, with that like monthly candlestick closing soon. And we have the last month of the quarter. On Monday, Trump also warned that higher tariffs could be imposed on countries that play games. Oh yeah, he did say that. You see, that's what I mean, like he strong arms countries. Meanwhile, investors are watching the resumption of US-Iran nuclear talks on Thursday. Oh, so we got talks tomorrow. Let me see if that's been scheduled. Looks like it's not scheduled on Forex Factory. This is something else. Investors are watching resumption of US-Iran nuclear talks on Thursday, with Iran vowing on Tuesday to do whatever it takes to secure a nuclear deal with Washington. So Iran is vowing that they really want to have a deal. However, gains in the bullion were limited by fading expectations for near-term monetary easing by the Federal Reserve. That war between the US and Iran, it's just US and the Middle East is a story as old as time. You know, they've always been going to war with each other. I think it's just more profitable. Like, to the world, it looks like something is not being agreed on, or there's a lot of tension. Even like ISIS has been argued to be created by US intelligence as well. You know what I mean? You take out ISIS, there's always going to be something else there as well, and it's just a lot more profitable. Just like the war on drugs is profitable as well. Like, I don't think that's that tension. It's unfortunate as well because now the Middle East has to pay for it because of also corrupt leadership. But it's just how the economy works. You know, imagine if we didn't have that. We don't really have so many things macro fundamentally which actually really propel markets. Usually it's like it's really the main things are those tensions. Like, we need an enemy, whether that's like, you know, 9/11 or tensions in the Middle East or rate decisions, natural disasters, which we rarely ever get. But the one thing that has always been reliable is war. And the war on drugs have always been a reliable business model for governments to find ways to enrich themselves. It's just the way the economy works. So it's not by chance, you know. You just gotta break the matrix. It's not by chance. These things don't happen by chance. And a lot of the time, it's like that's the thing that every single year, if it's not Russia, Ukraine, it's gonna be Middle East. The Russian-Ukraine kind of helped a lot of volume in price on gold. But you see, now that's kind of died out as well. That died out. So in Russia, Ukraine, then we're going to have COVID. You know, we're going to have something like COVID happen. It's not going to be COVID. Again, the Middle East has always been super reliable. So, you know, that's just the thing. That's the thing we got to look out for, like, every year. Is tensions, what the tensions are going to be. The surprise attacks like COVID. The rate decisions. Tariffs, natural disasters probably, but we're really gonna get that, I guess, with trading the USD. Maybe like you trade the yen and there's a tsunami that happens. What else? Alien invasion. Barack Obama said aliens exist in his recent interview. He was asked if aliens are real and he said yes. And then Donald Trump said, when he was asked about when Obama said yes, Donald Trump said he broke some rules. He is giving out confidential information. And also at the same time, just like the Epstein files, we're having the US government release more of UAP documents. There's supposed to be some UAP documents which are supposed to be released actually like very soon. So next up, I think that's gonna be the creme de la creme though. When we start getting to the alien one, then we're gonna stop the war in the Middle East. Then we're gonna fight the aliens. It's all dirty business. I'm no longer surprised by anything. Eating jerky in the e-files has made me stick to think about. Oh yes. Let me see here. 1 minute time frame. Nothing. Still a few V-shaped reversals, but no real entry confirmation. So you can see like that extension down here. V-shaped reversal. Here it's still kind of like it's cooking up, but it's not yet cooked something like a good foundation for a buy yet. So gotta wait. We create a resistance right over here, so you gotta wait. Maybe like a candle close above resistance, and then that would be the first thing to break above the highs to fill this range. But the more it hangs out here, the better it's gonna be for PA, because the more structure we're gonna have formed. Stronger the foundation, and then price pushes up, because that's typically how the market will move, right? It will like create a foundation, it will consolidate within an area for a while, and then push up, distribute. Maybe have some V-shaped formations, create the setup again, consolidate, build that volume in, and then shoot again. And then that cycle just gonna repeat itself. So right now we are at a point A. Have a look at NQ. Right, let's see. NQ. NQ, what's been happening here? NQ monthly, first of all, is bearish. Its weekly is consolidating. Major consolidation is getting ready for some moves. Daily closed bullish following Trump's speak yesterday. Daily closed bullish. And current daily is bullish. We don't have such a clean range to the upside like we do on silver, for example, but 4 hour currently right now the daily is up 0.23%. Let's clean up this analysis. 4 hours looking a bit cleaner here. You're currently at a 4 hour resistance. It's trying to break above that resistance. Ideally you would want to see like price above this zone, right? So if you're respecting the zone, expecting for more further upside, then at least you would have taken the 4 hour resistance. But right now we're right under it. So if we're right under it, it means it must be accumulating. And it must be accumulating here, trying to look to break to fill that range on the left hand side. That's why it's doing it. So we can investigate it further on the 30-minute. You can see it's just hovering right beneath that level. Right over here. So go on the 15 minutes. Just kind of like hovering right beneath that level. So a break, I think we're going to expect a break to come in maybe US session. Because this is NQ. You can see it right here as well. It's like a mini area. As long as it respects its lows right here, because that could be a reversal play. Because I see it broke out from these areas, little liquidity grab below here, distributed up. But now you see it's not moving, it's kind of like stuck here. So it needs to re-break the highs by 25.040 and then push up to fill some of this range. Again, towards that next point, it's like 17 pips, I guess. But if it comes down, then that's like a reversal play if it starts to break below these wicks down over here. So yeah, most likely what we're going to see is like it trying to hold this level. We have 25,000 psychological mark right there. So most likely it's going to try and hold 25k to re-break the highs to keep moving up. Make sure you're in line with the macros for this. A growing concern amongst investors about AI disruptions has impacted stock markets in recent days. They say AI might be something that is not going to last because it's really expensive. It's costing the companies more than it's generating profits. And the technology behind AI apparently just costs more. Like the more you're going to pay more, but to get it to a next level, to always improve it, it requires a real substantial amount of investment for really minor improvements. And it's not something you're going to improve once and you're going to say, that's it. You have to keep paying the price for the level that it's currently at. So it's not like you're going to design like it at a high level and then, you know, have that as a stepping stone to go up. You're always going to be paying. So apparently they're saying these AI companies are going to go bust in time in that rate. But I guess they're kind of like all working together. If you've ever seen that map of NVIDIA donating to this company, donating to that company, and then they call like AI a bubble, right? Because they're kind of like all supporting each other to, you know, keep it alive. Because otherwise it's like also very, very expensive. It's quite interesting to see. I think the main thing besides from the AI is that quantum computing that companies are trying to It's like a race. It's like a cold war to quantum computing. That's the main thing. But look at this. We got candlestick close above resistance and should be trying to make its way on upwards. I've been here for a while. Why did you change execution from 5 minute to 1 minute? Oh no, I still execute on the 1 minute. Just go on the spreadsheet. We're still taking like most of the trades, majority of the trades on the 1 minute. This month I only traded 5 minute 1, 2, 3, 4 times on the 5 minute. And we've taken around, this is 32 trades this month. I took a 15-minute shotgun play. That was a losing trade. Every time I take a higher time frame trade like a 15, it's always like a losing trade of late. Oh, okay, no, this was good. That's 30-minute. But most of the time it's because most of the time like the 5 minute and the 1 minute just play out the best on gold. When was the last time I did 15? Yeah, last time I did 15 was also a loss year last year in November. But yeah, the five and the 1 minute are like definitely the sweet spot. That is the sweet spot for gold, and gold can move up right now. Try and push up and fill this range. Also, starting to break above this high right over here. It's got about 72 pips. I think all in all, like the gold price, it's not bad. It's not bad. The thing is just be cautious about that monthly candle closure for sections in price which are going to range like that as we head towards the end of the month. But for the most part, it's I still believe even towards the tail end here, we could get like a bomber clot. Still got Thursday, Friday, and today later. I'm still looking for one more bomber clot.
Bomber clot!
Just one. Very difficult. Very difficult. Because I think because my bomber clots was supposed to be this one. Yesterday I was looking for a bomber clot here, and it's still filled out, but we got chopped out. And then the day before was this was the main bomber clot that I really wanted to catch over here. This was on February 23rd. Yeah, that was on Monday. That was the main one. Just gotta keep trying. Hello from Kenya. Hello, hello. Karibu. TI did a diss track on 50 Cent called The Right One. This could provide some entertainment. I wonder why the boy Curtis I wonder what my boy Curtis will find out. Yeah, I saw it on Instagram, but I didn't listen to it. I saw it, and I just, at that very moment, I didn't have time to listen to it, but I wanted to listen to it. I went heavy on this one. Buy tapped in at 51.96. Then I moved my sell down 4%. Down 4% to 51.72. Could be a lot of my monthly profits gone, but I defy the markets to get me. Oh, that doesn't sound good. This doesn't sound very smart, John. Don't fight the market. Don't fight it. Don't fight it, man. Especially not right now. Right now, you definitely don't want to fight it. I still see hesitation in gold. Like, you see, like something like this, we would want to see cleaner follow-throughs, but you see there's still a bit of hesitation. It still peaked at about like 20 pips. You see right by that 20 pip mark. But there is some bit of hesitation. Trust me, like next week, man, next week you're gonna most likely get away with a lot. Next week I'm expecting to start off the month pretty well. For March, you're probably gonna get away with a lot more, trust me, because now you're gonna get a fresh monthly candlestick. The only thing we're looking forward to now is the US-Iran tensions, and we will most likely be getting a lot cleaner PA. So milk that, and usually like try and milk it when the market is clean. So you see, like in the beginning of the month over here, I made it a point to always be on time to trade my session. Like even when I get comfortable and say I don't feel like I need to trade, I always make a point to like make sure I'm on the charts, because I know the speed bumps are coming in. They're gonna come in eventually, and you're gonna thank yourself like when you've been doing it at the right time, when it's more opened up. Correct? And you don't want to be forcing yourself to do it like towards the tail end of maybe when things are gonna be a little bit more bumpy. Because for me and my system and my strategy and the way I trade, that everybody's gonna have a different cluster of winning trades and losing trades. So you gotta look at your data and see when that's gonna be. Like for me and the way I trade, that's coming in like towards the tail end of the month right now. So that's just about being patient and just waiting for like at least a good runner. You know, I think like a good runner could really wrap it up, wrap some of this period up over here. And if not, just, you know, just manage your risk, just be a bit cautious. But trust me, like it's gonna be in your data. Like when you're gonna have wins, there's a higher probability you're gonna have more back-to-back wins. Correct? That's when you could be a little bit more risky. When you're gonna have losses, there's a higher probability that you're gonna have more potential back-to-back, or you know, more speed bumps. Like the data doesn't lie. There's a confluence in the way the data prints as you're trading. Starting like trying to pull up here. Got about 1 minute 40 seconds. Hopefully it doesn't start rejecting, like showing loads of rejection wicks. Confluence in your data, chat. Like we're in a game of information. You know, this is the whole idea. So you gotta get as much of that as possible. And then refine it to what's needed. Get as much of it as possible, and then refine it to what you really see more value in. Because yes, everything is gonna be valuable to you in terms of data, but some of it's just like it's not as valuable as other things. You know, for example, like on your journal, you don't always necessarily have like a psychology section if you're beyond that point. Right? So there's no point writing here, for example, hit my TP, but then I got out at BE. You know, it's like at some point you don't have to do that. You're just gonna write like you're gonna trade the way you're gonna trade, and then keep in the journal what is beneficial for you of the best decision you could have made in the moment. You know, don't start putting in things here which gonna make you feel like you're playing the victim, like should have held or should have not moved TP SL to BE, or you know, stuff like that. Like that's already in the past. So you gotta focus on like making the best possible decision per trade that you can make at that very moment, because hindsight trading is hindsight trading. You know, like I could have said, if I got stopped out by 3 pips, maybe I should have increased my stop loss by 3 pips. But that doesn't get you anywhere, right? Because today it's 3 pips, tomorrow it's going to be 4, the day after that's going to be 5, and you'll only always keep adjusting. So you have to find where that a barrier is, that ceiling. Every strat is going to have a ceiling to when it makes sense to keep tampering with it, or when it makes sense to accept it for what it is and look at it from different angles. Correct? So this is, for example, one thing that I noticed for myself is I started noticing there are times in the market where at the time that I'm trading, it's a bit more choppy, right? So it's not about me adjusting anything to do with my strategy. It's more of like seeing that different angle that, yeah, this happens from time to time, like specific hours are going to act like in very specific ways. And then just know that the only thing I can do at that point is either take a step back and not trade for maybe like 3 days completely, or until that cleans up. Usually it takes about maybe like 3 days, or I just keep trading through it. You know what I mean? And those are the only two things you can actually do. It's not always your because some people are going to have a issue with this. It's just to let you know, it's not always your strategy which will take the burden of every single mistake that happens in the market. There are definitely always going to be other underlying factors and variables you got to consider. Because, you know, as a retail trader, we're too wrapped up in technicals and strategies and that sort of thing that we forget the context part and everything else. And then there are also like hidden variables that you only actually learn with time, you know? You journal like that now? You can journal like that for a bit and then collect the data and then review that data at the end of the month to see if it's actually helping you. Doing like a small break and retest on the 5 right now. The daily bias is still bullish. It's up 0.80%, actually close to 0.9. It's close to 0.90%. It's trying to break out of this accumulation here by 51.88. It's kind of like basically the same thing that happened here that's happening here. So it's trying to break out of that zone. You gotta get those scars before you really know how well you can do it. Yes, sir. Don't be afraid of getting the scars, because you get the scars, you're gonna learn how to do it better the next time. Let's see if that actually breaks. It should break on this candle. Otherwise, it creates a resistance and then breaks on the next one. But it's also still within that same area. Because the 5-minute broke above and it's doing a break and a retest right now. It's a small break and retest with clean traffic on the upside. Nothing beats getting those scars, man. You gotta get those scars because, you know, when you get those scars, you're not gonna repeat the same mistake. Yeah, like hopefully you can learn from it. Because it will happen again. I want to see this thing break and skyrocket 51.88 because it technically speaking should actually push. Let's see if next 5 minutes opening in about 1 minute as well. Oh, candlestick closed like doji bullish candle. So that's showing like a lack of volume. So you're gonna need a little bit more structure to form there before it breaks. It's gonna need to create like some sort of resistance. Oh, it broke without the resistance. It needs to create a resistance though. 10 seconds. Oh man, it broke without the resistance. It didn't create it. It just pushed to that wick. Yeah, it's just gonna fill the range. It did a shotgun play on the 5 minute right there. When the candlestick closed, the next 5 minute opened. Now it's continuing to move up. Bullish. right over here. See, candlestick close. It's like another shotgun play because we had a minor resistance right over here. Now it's heading towards 51.95. See how much that spiked from that area. This is a shotgun player like 20 pips, but it would have been nicer for this section here to create that resistance first. Guess you could still take it if you're confident in it. Like usually I would still take that similar type of entry if I feel confident, especially in markets which are already moving in a certain direction like this. Then usually like that's okay. But with gold right now, it is bullish. We're up now close to 1%, but it's like it pulled down and it's overall in this kind of sideways movement in this region. So it would have been nicer for that resistance to first form, but the shotgun still played out. That is what it did. You see, and it's not about me chasing it. It's not about me catching it, chat. Like, I don't stream for YouTube, you know? Like, if y'all ever wondered, I don't stream for YouTube. But the thing is, you can still see it. It doesn't mean that you have to revenge trade it now. I can still catch this. I'm still gonna do the same thing I'm teaching you here later. During the next time that I'm trading, I'm still gonna do the same thing later. You know, that the important thing is that, you know, like you're just gonna take a trade. When you take a trade, you're gonna remain disciplined. You can paper trade, you can watch the market, looks good, beautiful, range got filled out, awesome. Next time it happens, we're gonna look for it. That's what I've been trying to do over here, except like that pre-NY time has just been screwing me over. But it's literally the same ideas, right? So we'd be like sitting on stream calling them out like this, and then I'll take it during pre-NY and get rinsed before the range gets filled up. So hopefully that doesn't happen today. And that like muscle pool that we like to call, that muscle pool has kind of moved over now to a different session. So we're going to see today as well. We are going to see. But yeah, now the range has been filled up here. Range has been filled. That's it. That's it. Remember we said the market moves in phases. It'll distribute, set you up again. This was the next point A that we spoke about. Right over here, and now it's distributed and it's gonna set up again, and it's gonna do it over and over and over and over and over again. That's why I mean, like, never feel like you're missing moves. Like, the market's abundant of moves. It's literally moving like this constantly, as long as you're trading during times of high volume, anywhere from pre-London up until even of late Asia, up until NYSE, 1 hour into NYSE. Then past that, it should like fizzle out into the next day. And just stick with your time, stick with your entry models, you know, trust the process, don't get discouraged, don't tilt, don't FOMO. Make sure you're following your rules as accurately as you possibly can and making the best decisions that you can possibly make at that specific time. Correct? Because in hindsight, there's always a reason that you could have done something differently. You know, one thing that I love about women is like, women are always gonna tell you like, you should have done that, you should have done that differently, you should have done this, you should have done that. Nothing bad to women, but also something like my mother used to do a lot. You know, like whenever I make a mistake, my mom will always be like, you should have done that differently, you should have done this instead. It's like, if I knew, I would have done that, but I didn't know, because you're only gonna know in hindsight that you could have done something differently. Correct? So like trading the same way, you just gonna know in hindsight, and then you just gonna learn from that and then try not to make that mistake. But if you're following your rules, then that was the best possible decision that you could have made with the information that you had at that current moment. That's how you have to look at it when you take your plays. Don't take your plays out of fear that you're afraid if it's going to play out, it's not going to play out. Look at it and say, this is the best option that I can choose for this specific play right now, whether that's going to be to take it or whether that's going to be to avoid it, to maybe wait for something that you felt more confident in. And if you avoided it and it played out, you have to say to yourself, that was the best decision I could have made. Correct? And not play a victim card of, damn, I knew I should have taken it. You know, don't do that to yourself. That's the worst thing that you're going to do to yourself. As like you gotta watch that scene in Tokyo Drift when Han says, "Life's all about decisions or choices. Life's all about choices. You make your choice and you don't look back." Let's see over here. Yeah, this is... Now we're still waiting for price to break above. Here, this is the ultimate break by 51.95. Look at silver. How do you trade when the candle gap down? Let's see. Silver. How do you trade when the candle gap down like in 345.4? The candle gap down. I think that gap you're gonna see on your broker because I don't see it on here. You gotta send a chart. You gotta send a chart. Instead of saying look at this, look at that, send us a chart on Discord. Then we're gonna see what you mean. Yeah, but silver's gearing up for a break as well. A pretty big break above 91. Goldie's gonna need to set up again. It's probably gonna come close to resistance by 51.95 and then try and set up again to break the highs. Then try and move up. I think this is the range I might trade later. It's gonna be from here to here, most probably. I already attempted it once, pulled down. See, the next best time for it to attempt this again is gonna be pre-New York. If it comes, because that's gonna be a different session, kind of. Like pre-NY, it's still London, but it's pre-NY volume. That's the next best time that it can actually retest that area. For now, we're kind of like bouncing in between those ranges. From down here to up here. So might see this area also get mopped up. As this pushes up, candlesticks move up like this. You kind of like get like another retracement down. That was a clean buy because if you look at these buy ideas here, as I mentioned, it's a lot more harder for price to move through these zones than it is for price to move up through this zone. It's a lot more simpler for it to move through that area than it is down here. So yeah, I think, you know, when you're gonna look at that, it's gonna make a lot of sense in hindsight, you know, but we've been talking about it here, but also in hindsight, because it's moved up, then you're gonna see like it makes sense. It makes sense if you have like a clean traffic here and you got a bunch of speed bumps here, it's always gonna be more difficult for price to get through these levels. The only time we can get through these levels is get a better chance to get through those levels is maybe if price accumulates next to them and then breaks. Like accumulate here and then break. That's the only time. But otherwise, if we're just doing V-shaped reversals into them, there's a pretty big chance that you're gonna reject it like we did here. They reject it because a lot of speed bumps. Even like try to push through it, but it also filled this range over here. Left less to be desired for the sellers because now that range had already been filled up like 65% of that range. See right to the T. So it left that area to be a lot less desirable for sellers to get involved, and that's what made that more lucrative for price to move up here. So now we just gotta, you know, wait for next triggers, because, you know, like if you look at my results on the spreadsheet, there's nothing different that I'm doing that I do in pre-London and New York or pre-NY that we do here in the London session stream. There's nothing different. It's just to be consistent. Be consistent with your concepts on markets. Be consistent with how you believe markets move, and and give yourself time in between sessions, you know, so you don't fall into a victim of overtrading a session. And then you're gonna achieve what we like to call in this channel stress-free trading. But if you've already taken like 4 trades on the day and you know the day's just getting started and you're still planning on trading more, that's not going to be stress-free. I've only taken 2 trades today. I'm going to take my 3rd trade and that's it. I think psychologically you're going to handle anywhere between 1 to 3 trades a lot better than anything more than 3 trades. A wildfire. That range is juicy one. If structure permits a small SL, call me a blender with all that juice. Nice buzz. Got Woods with the buzz. I needed to blend some juice this morning. I was too lazy. I was gonna make my ginger, lemon, orange, and green tea concoction, but I was too lazy. I need to get a robot. If they're gonna design a robot, that would be amazing. Because I don't want to get a maid. Because you know, maid is a whole other person that you gotta worry about. I'd rather get like a robot. Robot, no feelings, just do all the work. And then, you know, don't we gotta worry about people's feelings. I've taken 2 trades today, one with you and the other. Oh, nice. Or a wife. Yeah, but you know, a wife, you gotta pay a lot for a wife. A wife isn't a once-off payment, my friend. Yeah. But a robot is. Maintenance costs are also gonna be less than a robot. They're actually trying to do it. Like the tech space is trying to do it, but they're like really clumsy, right? Like you're gonna ask it to get you a glass of water, it's gonna take like 5-10 minutes to get a cup of water. Or if it's washing the floor, it like kind of like slips on the floor and falls on the ground. Like they're actively trying to make it, but still got a long way to go. This like costs, I think, like $50,000 for a robot. But it's kind of garbage right now. I should get a robot to do more than just chores. Like, you know, do your taxes. And get your kids ready for school. I'm waiting for that. Maybe in the next 10 years. That would be pretty sick. I'll become like a video game, Detroit. Become human. I'll pay $50K for that. I think it'll be worth it. How old are you? Yes. But the chat already knows. Chat already knows. Let me see. We're getting a breakout here to the downside. We're getting a breakout to the downside. We have a little clean range for price to come down over there. It's a counter trend move. Vic predates time. Back in my day, Woods, we didn't have the internet. 50-cent ringtones. Somebody give you a call and you gotta play 50-cent ringtone back in my day. And back in my day, we used to record that ringtone with the record app. No, we used to buy the ringtone. No, the ringtone was bought via SMS Yeah, I don't know if y'all had this as well, but like you'd buy the ringtone, you'd pay for like a subscription fee to have a ringtone. Let's see, this thing actually distributes down. It's currently in a point A, where like price is gonna potentially distribute. Buy them from the newspaper SMS. It's kind of stuck in yeah, let's see, just hit that 8 SMA. So these SMAs can be quite pesky. They can give your trades a real hard time. That was a kiss of death on that 8 SMA. See that? The way it's like supporting the candle right there. Really, really pesky. It's the same thing with that 50 SMA right over here. But when you have the SMA in your favor and confidence, those are usually the best trades, like right over here. You see, like that setup here had the 8 SMA, and you had room in between the entry confirmation here and right over here to the SMA before any sort of like reactions from it. Morgan Freeman. In the beginning, there was charts. In the beginning, there was a single candlestick. Imagine, in the beginning, there was a single candlestick. What comes first, the wick or the body? That is the question. Let's go back in time and see what that daily candle looked like. Gonna go and investigate it here. Oh, look, oh, you're right. What came first, the wick or the candle body? The extremers are onto something. Extremers onto something here. Look at this. Or Ricardo's on some. What came first? Looks like the body came first. This is in 1970. So you got the cute little Easter egg there, which is a trading view dinosaur. In 1970, we got the body come first. The wick still had it to develop. The wick still, oh my days, look at this. The wick still had to be developed. You know, this is the whole idea behind evolution. So we haven't evolved yet to a wick. From 1970, we had to take some good evolution time here. Like how long? Sheesh, man, this thing's going on forever. Gotta zoom out. We gotta zoom out. Here we go. Until 1992. Like 12 years. Oh, 20 years. 22 years. 22 years. And then we only started to get cooler bodied candles. And then the wick started to come in later. And now we've evolved to the modern human. You see now, this is the modern market over here now. It's a lot more clean, a lot more evolved, a lot more stable. Yeah, it's whiplashing. Whiplash here kind of like broke these lows, barely pushed through that break. Only did about like 13. Quick reversal, took out the highs, whiplashing. But you know, it's gonna whiplash, of course, as well, because the thing about trades that like you can't always just take back to back trades. You're eventually gonna have period of whiplash, and then get those greens again, those green areas. Well, most of the time you were just trying to avoid as much of the area of whiplash by spreading out the risk throughout the day and limiting the amount of trades that we take. That's actually how you become profitable, or give yourself a better chance of becoming profitable. Spread out the risk and take less trades, so you can avoid like 90% or most of the whiplash that you're gonna get on the intraday time frames. See what Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin is still slowly but surely coming down. It's starting to break from this small little range that we had marked out. It's filled up that range here nicely down towards support. As you can see, it was about a 219 pips. I'll be right back. Be right back, chat. In the beginning. Have you seen that funny video of the politician who couldn't say beginning? In the beginning. Oh, I think that was wasn't it a South African president? South African president?
Singing in the beginning. Yeah, in the
Listen properly.
in the beginning. Yeah, in the beginning. In the beginning. In
Imagine, man, like a whole politician struggling. He should have just let that one go. He should have let it go. He really picked a fight with that word. Should let it go. Yeah, the word that I can't say is jewelry. For some reason, my tongue just gets confused when I start to say that word. Jewelry. Starts to do backflips. Y'all have like a word that you can't say? Write it down in the chat. Only word gives me a hard time, and if I saw it on a piece of paper, I always see whenever we get on TradingView here, and they write that word jewelry, and I see it coming, I always just try and go over it quickly. Jewelry. There was a time he was reading some figures and couldn't figure it out. Do you see the stand-up Trevor Noah did about the sequence? Oh, no. I'm sure it was pretty funny though. Trevor Noah and Bill, I think it was his name, Bill Burr. Like, I'm not much of I don't watch comedy much, but those are the two comedians that I really like. And also this other comedian called Chris. His first name is Chris something. It's also really funny, Chris something. But Bill Burr is also quite hilarious. But I think Bill Burr got like some oh, and Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is also really, really good. Oh, and Gabriel Iglesias. He's also really funny too. Chris Rock. Yeah, of course, Chris Rock. Hilarious. Chris Rock. Joe Rogan is trash. Like, you know, Joe Rogan thinks he's a comedian, but man, have you seen Joe Rogan's stand-up comedy? It's actually trash. And he doesn't get jokes. Like when comedians come on his podcast and they kind of like make a joke, Joe Rogan takes it, he takes it literally. Now that's another word. Literally. That's why in Miami people like to say it in a certain way. I literally, like, you ever watch Alex FXG say literally? I don't like, people in Miami like to say that word a bit funny. Literally. They kind of skimp over the T. I think that's what they do. It's about literally. They say literally in Miami. Oh, Cat Williams. Yeah, Cat Williams is also a G. What does Cat Williams do with his hair? Why is his hair so flowy? Like, why has it always been so flowy like that? I don't think he relaxes it, because relaxes kind of like damage your hair, but his hair looks like quite healthy. It's like bro's been getting Brazilian blowouts since Brazilian blowouts were a thing. Take the top of the range. Is using a straightener or something. But even a straightener on African hair doesn't make your hair look that smooth though. I think maybe it's genetics, right? Like how is his hair like so smooth? I've never seen him with curly hair. I probably like genetics, but I've never seen that on a full African like Cat Williams. Like, look at this, man. This guy's hair looks like a Brazilian blowout. I don't think Brazilian blowouts were a thing during this time. And it's even more better than that because it's like really smooth. It's probably just genetics. Yeah, I have naturally curly hair myself, but I used to do that when I was a kid. It used to be a thing at one point. See if I go in my album here and see if I can find it. Where is it? Yeah, let me just show you like two pictures. Two pictures of little V. This little V right over here. So you kind of look like Cat Williams. Kind of look like Cat Williams. got that flowy hair. Got that Justin Bieber hair. '26. I think it was like probably like 15 years ago. Let's see. Now it's like setting up again. Since we've like filled up the range, I don't like this range from here to here is not as appetizing. That's only about like 18 pips. Now it's kind of stuck. It's stuck in between here and here. So you can see the difference. It's a huge difference between where price is right now and where it was, for example, right over here. Massive difference, correct? Massive difference. This looks a lot more clean cut. If you just show up to the market, show up to the charts during the time you're trading, you see this, it sticks out as a sore thumb. But when you come onto the chart, let's say at a different time like this, that's going to immediately require you to be like patient. You're going to see this, the first thing you see, you already know you're sitting on your hands for a bit before doing anything. That's why I really like this pre-London trade setup over here. Is because that setup, like very obviously, we just needed to break above 51.95 and then start to head up. Little troublemaker. Yeah, we're a troublemaker. Back in these days, did a lot of trouble. I think I was on E at this time as well. I think I took something this time. The whole idea was just to pool. That's all that it was, just to pull. But you see, nowadays there's so much information online that you just it would be a sin not to be making money online. You know, like 15 years ago, man, that wasn't the case. 15 years ago, people were just living their lives, man. Like, you know what I mean? But nowadays, it's a sin with all the information that you have not to make money online. You know, you gotta find a way to like kind of make money online. That's why we can all thank also, I think like COVID, there was definitely COVID which made people a bit more aware of the opportunities that there were to do that. Because before that, the only thing maybe I could think about is like drop shipping. People like drop ship and build websites and that sort of thing. Like that's how people would like make money online, through building websites. I think even Tori Trades used to build websites before she became a trader. But man, nowadays there's just so many options, especially with AI and everything, and the amount of information surrounding trading and how to be profitable trading. See, the 1 minute is coming down, but you just kind of have to let the market breathe, because essentially what it's doing right now, it's creating this, what you previously saw over there. It's creating the same range right now that it's going to come down, and then it's going to create that structure again. Then it starts all over again. So that's going to be possibly the next best thing in terms of a setup that you would probably have here in the next 15 minutes, possibly. 5 minutes candlestick is about to close right now. It's coming down. Supply and demand. I used to drop ship Amazon. I used to drop ship Amazon to eBay. Bro found a glitch. It sounds like a glitch. He looks a little like you, Vic, the mouth shape. What do you mean? That is me. That is me, bro. Like what we used to do back in the day, we would have like a small book. We would have a small book of pickup lines and negs and all of these things, and we used to go to the mall. And the whole idea was like, how many girls could we pull using that information? You know, and that information, it had a data in that information. Like we saw like certain lines worked better than the other lines. And if you execute it just right, then you know you could get somewhere pretty good. Yeah, it's what they call Riz. Little Rizzlers. All right, let's see. It's coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down. It would be good if we push down towards like these lows and then set something up. Pizza sounds fantastic today. I'm just trying to survive till GTA 6, to be honest with you. Because I feel like GTA 6 is going to be such an amazing thing. And it's going to bring back the... If y'all remember the old Modern Warfare, like Modern Warfare 2 lobbies, and how those lobbies used to be, I think that's what GTA 6 is going to bring back. It's like literally the only thing I'm looking forward to this year. Just making money, being disciplined, hitting the gym. And GTA 6. That's it. They just gotta survive till November. Hopefully the world doesn't end by then. Man, if Trump ruins GTA 6 release date, I'll be pissed off. For whatever reason. Nuclear war. Whatever the case may be. Then we're gonna have a problem. GTA 6, on the day GTA 6 releases, energy consumption in cities is like, wait, let me see if I can bring that post up. Let me show you how much promotion that there's gonna be when that game comes out. This is what's going to happen. Let me tell you what's going to happen. When GTA 6 comes out, workplaces will feel it first. Vacation requests will spike, productivity will likely drop. A lot of people got to take vacations, right? On that, their work days off. Schools could report a record absences. Students are gonna skip class. One excuse: launch day. Simple. I think even parents are gonna understand. Traffic patterns may shift. Afternoon roads are gonna slow down. Everyone's gonna be rushing home at the same time. Console sales will surge. Hidden savings spent. Last minute hardware upgrades everywhere. Rockstar's servers will face historic pressure. Millions logging in at once. I think when Battlefield 6 came out, we had like maybe around like 1 million. I think it hit 1 million. I was on queue at like 500k, but I think we must have hit like 1 million. I queued up kind of late. Millions logging in at once, possibly the heaviest load in gaming history. The internet will explode, streams breaking records, social feeds flooding within hours. Power consumption will rise, peak gaming sessions, entire cities glowing a little brighter at night. Gaming cafes packed, lines outside stores at sunrise, some players awake all night waiting for the launch. Within 24 hours, hundreds of millions in revenue. Not just a game launch, a global cultural movement. It's gonna be insane. Then it gets postponed. Like it's really the reason I don't have a PlayStation till date. Like because its console is so useless because there's no games. There's absolutely nothing to play. But I'll buy a console just for that one game. Alright, price coming down. We're probably gonna create a resistance over here, and then we're gonna go to work again. Same thing's gonna probably happen. Same probability that happened over here is most likely gonna happen over here as well. Now we're at that 5 a.m. Eastern candlestick. Mystery and the pickup artists? Yeah, exactly, Mystery. You know, I still name my Wi-Fi that up till this day. I still use his name. I think that was his name, right? Mystery. Whatever happened to Mystery? Become all mysterious now. Has disappeared. Oh yeah, it was Mystery, this Indian guy, and then this guy with the blonde hair. Whatever happened to this guy? Age 54 years old, 24th September. Looks like he's still doing the same thing. As opposed to 17 weeks ago. Alright, needs to create a support over here. We need to respect this zone for price to move up. This was probably the pre-New York range, if not here. If it mops this area out, then you see Tall Trader's analysis for buys being completely done. By the time we break this 51.74, you see, we've got to break it. Try to break it once. It pushed up, retested resistance. Now it's attempting to break it again, right over here. So if it really wants to break, this is just the part where it's going to do all the heavy lifting. Then beyond this, this is going to be curtains for price to come down. Probably just gonna melt and correct this range. 222 pips. That's what the sellers are waiting for. It's overall like a really massive consolidation as well. Right over here, got a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. That's a fake out above there, and just needs to get through this zone. And then this is curtains. Probably gonna take sells and very clean sells, in fact. But if it doesn't sell, then I still want to capture some buys. Maybe within this range here as it's pulling down, or this next resistance by 51.84. Yeah, it looks like a large head and shoulders. This is a large head and shoulders. There's also a smaller one here. There, and there. You can see even that volume starting to kick in from this side. I mean, if it tumbles, that'll be quite interesting because, I mean, you know, the only variable we really gotta consider is just this monthly candlestick that's about to close in 2 days. That's gonna create some volatility in the market, because even if the fundamentals and the macros say like price should move up, it just depends. Like it doesn't have to do it all at once. Like I think when we had the first rate cut that initiated the price pushes towards the upside in 2025. The next day, we had a bearish candle closure. Even after getting the rate decisions, the next day we had a bearish candle closure. And then only after that, like that true volume started to get assimilated into the market after the rate decision. US rate cuts. But the next day we still closed bearish doji, and then later it came in. So it's like the same thing right now. I think like price is kind of like mitigating. I think you can think of it like mitigating, where because we got 2 days for the monthly close, but we're still expecting this thing to push upwards. It just needs to find its footing, because as you can see on the daily, fine, it looks like a little bit more clean maybe, but there's a lot of like choppiness. It's like trickling. It's slightly like trickling here as it's attempting to move up bullish. But we will fill that range, and it's going to be a very beautiful range to fill, and we're going to make a lot of money on it. Especially once it start moving, like once it start breaking properly and moving into the new month, here by like 52.28, it's going to be a good range. And by that time, we're not just only heading towards that resistance, we're heading up towards ATH. And by that time, there's going to be a lot of exuberance in the market. And by that time, the US-Iran thing should be escalated quite nicely. Because I doubt they're going to come to a peace. You know, I really doubt so. Otherwise, why has the US moved so much military equipment there than they ever have in history? Why this time have they done that without shooting a single rocket? Something is going to be shot. And the moment something gets shot, then we know that price is going to be really feeling that bullish exuberance. We just need one escalation to start this thing. So we're saying it now. For those of you on stream listening, I've said it now. Now we're going to see by the end of after next week, I think that's when time should be up. So we'll see by next weekend. We'll see now with the escalation and how price is going to follow through into yeah, and how price is going to follow through. But I still think that they still got about like a week left, right? Maybe towards the tail end of next week, like Thursday, Friday. So right now we're just trying to leverage off anything, you know, anything, meaning also the tariffs. But you see, as far as the tariffs go, there's just a lot of like talk and nothing really quite substantial for markets, it seems. Otherwise, we would have already just been moving up and the structure would look a lot different. But instead, we're seeing like a lot of profit taking, a lot of whiplashing, which is again somehow relating back to the monthly candle closure. A peace would not favor US, so most probably there must be escalation. Yes. A peace would not favor any sides, like any sides really. The rich are gonna get richer with no peace. So I don't think peace is really what they want. And China's been quiet. Russia's been quiet of late. North Korea has been quiet of late. We're not really getting much coming out from those ends, which is kind of interesting, correct? Because last time I saw, we're like seeing Putin, North Korea, and Chinese president walking with each other. The last time that I saw anything of them on the news, and Donald Trump felt a bit left out. So I feel like they're conspiring something, you know, especially because, you know, Iran supplies China with a good amount of oil. And I believe there's something being conspired in the background. Definitely like some kind of like a Cold War that's going on. But it's interesting, not much is coming out of those three countries at this very moment. And it's just all eyes on Trump to move markets right now. Imagine, like, it's all on Trump, man. If Trump was not president, you know, like, what would we have? Imagine if we had a very like bureaucratic world leader, like Sleepy Joe, or even Barack Obama. You know, they're more discreet about the way that they move, and they're always trying to be more democratic. Which also is a reason why gold for all these previous times, you know, in usual like market volume is not as volatile as this. This is just an unprecedented time being led by Trump, which is, you know, a good thing. He's giving a lot of volume to the market. But if it wasn't for him, like markets would be still moving, just not to this extent. You know, people have had amazing runs. If you look at the world's #1 scalper, I think last year he made around three 300 and something percent in 9 months. 350, I think it was, in 9 months. This Sergio, I think his name. Damn, I forgot his name. Yeah, that guy, the world's #1 scalper guy. In 9 months he made 350 something like that. But you know, this year so far so good. I think this year is gonna be even a better year than 2025, to be honest, because the volume started coming in 2025 like mid around can't remember exactly. I think it was like somewhere mid 2025 the volume started coming in. But we've already gone into 2026 with 2025 volume, so it should even be a better year. That's why I think like scalpers are really gonna benefit, because we got tighter stops and we can leverage off a lot more bigger pushes. Like for example, this trade was mentioned like 9.86%. I was trying to close out 1,000. There's a reel you can watch as well on the channel. I was trying to close out 1,200 and then price just spiked. It just spiked from 2% to 9%. Also, yeah, that's it. Things like that gonna help a lot. Really gonna help a lot to push BA, to push profits, I mean, to maximize gains. So you know, it's a good time to get stuck in to learning a skill that is trading gold. Because I don't know about NQ. I don't know how NQ is gonna react. Like, I'm not sure if NQ gives those types of spikes. You gotta like ask somebody here in the stream if they give. Ricardo, do they? Yeah, Ricardo here trades gold at NQ. So does NQ give spikes? I don't know. You know, like you got like tight stop loss. Can NQ give you like a surprise spike? Because I know GJ doesn't do that, and we trade a lot of GJ before, you know, just gold and GJ, but GJ does not do that. So I think it also depends on the instrument that you're trading. Maybe something like US 30 does. But you gotta, you know, you gotta backtest with your system, because you can't do it in hindsight. You just can't look at a random event and then say, oh, you know, US 30 here moved like this, 200 pips, or just pick like a random candle like this, for example, and say that it does give those spikes. It has to do it in confluence with an entry model. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense, because then that will just be a random spike. Like this, you see even like prices just moving down. I also don't see any entry confirmations here. So it has to be in line with some entry model. NQ loves whips. Yeah, I know NQ likes faking out a lot though. That I've seen a lot of. It will close an area and then push slightly and then reverse. Like, it loves to do a similar thing like this here. It'll break a zone and then start to reverse in the opposite direction. And I think it's the reason why the ICT community likes to trade NQ, because they kind of do the opposite, right? They like to do the opposite. So they'll draw like a fair value gap here. And I think they're going to have a better edge trading ICT on NQ than trading ICT on gold. Man, if you trade ICT on gold, you're probably going to get whips. Probably going to get whips. Gold doesn't play that nonsense here. Gold follows like pure price action. If it breaks and closes structure, it's meaning to do that because it wants to head in that direction. Whereas NQ, if it breaks and closes structure, it's meaning to do that so it can do like a Judas move to the opposite direction. So it's like a big difference, right? Of course, gold also does it from time to time, but it doesn't do it as much as NQ. So yeah, I think that's why they're gonna use like FEGs here. So definitely, like, each pair has a different type of psychology for sure. You have to lock into it and really, really understand it. But you're never gonna go wrong with gold. That's what I can tell you right now. This is the gold standard. Gold is this, like, gold standard of markets. You have to have this in your portfolio. It's just one thing that you must have. You can trade anything else that you want. But if you're not trading gold, especially as a retail trader, make it very difficult for yourself. This price coming down here because you know, like 2025, everyone's talking about gold, silver, platinum. Top 3 commodities that should be on your radar: gold, silver, and platinum. Because we're heading towards a lot of uncertainty right now, especially with potential war on the horizon and the alliance between the Soviet countries. And then de-dollarization is going on currently as well, moving away from the dollar. Like, you gotta be looking at gold. Don't be looking at Bitcoin. Gotta waste a lot of money and time on Bitcoin. But this is not financial advice. This is just educational purposes. And price is starting to break below support. You see, like, look at this. Tall trader, this is the last floor over here. This is the last floor that we have. If we break through this floor, like, price is gonna come down. It's gonna come down over here. You know, we might see some stronger pullbacks to the downside. This is it. This is the last floor that we have right here. So I think pre-NY might be actually sells. You know, start to break below it. Look at this. There's nothing. There's nothing on this side to hold price up. It will skyrocket now. If it skyrockets, it's gonna do like what it basically did here, which is lower low, push up, lower low, push up, lower low, push up. But this was a, now we're doing it at a different time. We're heading close towards pre-New York. It's gonna be like 30 minutes.
Why are you running?
Still rejecting. You get through that level properly. Because there's not much holding it beyond that point. This thing's gonna fall. It doesn't have to fall all the way down, but it's gonna fill at least this range, like this wick. Look towards like filling that wick. And then come down, maybe break that wick, and then continue to push down bearish. But it has a lot of room there. So we're just kind of monitoring this, you know. Now the sellers are looking to come in. We don't have any psychological marks though. Like 5170. Yeah, we got nothing. Starting to break. How low can you go? How low can you go? Alright, it's still rejecting it. I can see there's a real tug of war going on here between the buyers and the sellers at this level. I don't feel confident taking buys here because it could play out, but because it's so close to such a key area, might see sellers get excited. It's just the same thing, like, you know, when you have a situation like this and you can see it's like in a quite a prominent area where if it like actually continues, it can move up quite nicely. Sometimes the sellers can get excited, so you have to be kind of careful. In this scenario, at least it pushed up quite a bit, like around 18 or so pips. So annoyed on losing 2 trades that I can't even see the setups. Haven't lost like that in a long time. Market is giving me a lesson. Really? You haven't lost 2 trades in a long time. Damn, that's nice. You know, that's a thing. It's like losing feels so much worse all the time, you know? Isn't that funny? Like, you can win so much, but you take 1 loss and you're gonna burn the world down. That's what happens to a lot of people. It happens in all industries. That psychological aspect of, you know, you can win so much, but the moment somebody steps on your toes the wrong way, you're ready to burn everything down. You know, it's not good. You are gonna get angry, you are gonna get emotional, because that's just human nature, but you mustn't let it affect your the progress that you made. It was not a big loss total, like 2%. But when you win too much for a long time, it does mess you up. Yeah, it does. I'm low-key pissed. Like, inside, I am quite pissed. But at the same time, it's for me, I can just look back at how my month has been going, and you know, I can't complain. It's been an amazing month. But it's just something about that feeling that you just don't want to have that feeling, right? But it is what it is. So it's perfectly fine to feel it and then know that you have to act emotionally intelligent about it as well. So for me, I still want to take another trade today. I still want to take one more, even though I'm on a 2 lose streak. I still want to take one more today, but not out of revenge. You know, if it was out of revenge, I would have already been over trading. But you see, ooh. That was weird. I got a blue screen of death. Not a good sign. I need to upgrade PC. Is that 25k PC? Still fluctuating though. Yeah, I think the cleanest buy is definitely gonna come above 5184. We got a 68 pip range. So I wonder what it could be. Because you know, like they stopped giving Windows updates, Windows 10 updates. I think it was sometime last year. So I hope they don't start forcing users somehow towards like Windows 11. Because you know, Microsoft can do that if they wanted to. They're gonna start making the computers with like some problems. That's what Apple does, and it's a very well-known thing that Apple does as well with the iPhones. So it's gonna make your iPhone slower as the new ones come out. Like Microsoft trying to push everybody into Windows 11, but Windows 11 is trash. It has so many bugs. Because I should not be getting a blue screen of death. There's ESU for Windows 10. What is ESU? Allows users to continue receiving critical security patches for their Windows 10 devices after the official end of support, October 14, 2025. This is a paid subscription service designed to provide temporary lifeline for devices that cannot immediately upgrade to Windows 11. I use Windows 11 for the last 4 years and it works fine. It doesn't work fine for me for some reason, especially with streaming. I think maybe for streaming it's not good because the streaming software that I use whenever I'm on Windows 11, it always like glitches out, or it gives like always some kind of a problem, or it crashes. I don't know why. But I tried getting onto Windows 11 like 2 times, but every time there used to be like some kind of a problem. But if it's the last case scenario, if I do actually got a blue screen of death, maybe might have to. But we'll see. Or maybe just something happened right now. Something unique must have happened right now that made it crash. Blue screen of death. I heard 11 forces you into their AI. That's what I bought till figured out I have to switch to Apple. Gold is Sharky. Yeah, it's Sharky, but if you get stuck in, I feel like there could be good distributions coming in here because it's really extended quite nicely on this push to the downside. So that's, I think, what I'm going to be looking for. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Anyway, we'll see you for the London session stream. Good luck, everybody. I'll leave you with this analysis. There's a consolidation break here by 5181 and further continuations above 5184 for shotgun plays. But don't disregard the sells. Once you start breaking below here, it's curtains for gold. You have all this room here to keep playing around for price to keep moving down. So watch out for those opportunities. And I will see you all in the next one. Adios.